Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Ted here with you. Tuesday, January 12th, 2021. So, the whole reason that I come to you guys is really just to motivate you to get prepared, keep you ahead of that curve. And I tell you guys all the time, whether you believe in some of the reasons that I give you or not, or some of the conspiracy theories that are out there for these food shortages, whether you believe it or not. And I've given you many reasons: the weather, the purposeful food destruction during this whole pandemic thing, right? Even if you don't believe any of that, go out and get food, I tell you, because to hedge against inflation. Now we have an article in the mainstream media backing up what I've been saying for this whole thing since I came out. Food price inflation accelerates for the seventh consecutive month. Is it time to worry about food inflation? The Food and Agriculture Organization's food price index rose for a seventh consecutive month in December, led by dairy products and vegetable oils. The price index average, blah, 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 blah. Okay. The benchmarks which track. Anyway, the article goes on. Here's a graph for you. Check it out. The FAO price index 2020 compared to every other year: 2017, 2018, 2019, way up. So, the article goes on to say that it's mostly oils, cereals, and grains. So, like I've been saying all along, whether you believe those things or not, go out, stock up on, at a very minimum, the things that these articles are telling you are going to have inflation. That way, when the price goes up, it's like investing in Bitcoin or something. And right now, food is up. Look at that graph. Food is up like Bitcoin. You would have been smart to have bought it at that trough if you could have helped it. But with prices of food going up, it means you're going to be spending a lot more money putting the food on the table for you and your family. And this article here is talking about most families can't even afford a $1,000 emergency expense. Meaning, if you had a financial crisis of some sort, even not something big in SHTF, I'm talking just a personal emergency financially. If you had a leak in your roof that you had to pay to have repaired, if you had a car breakdown, if you had any number of things that could financially go wrong and hit you in your wallet, 60% of Americans can't afford that. So if they had that leaky roof or whatever, they don't have the money to do that. And with food going up, that means probably more and more people in those huge food lines that we saw during the holidays that nobody's talking about anymore, but I'm sure they haven't shriveled that much. So, I mean, money and food, it's almost like it's going to be an exclusive thing. If you don't have lots of money, you're not going to be able to get the food. You may not see a shortage on the shelf. You might go there and the food might be there, but you might have to spend, if it keeps inflating the way that it has, and as we see families already can't afford an emergency, you might have to spend a whole paycheck at one point to get food to feed you and your family. So please, 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 I beg of you, go out, stock up on at least a little bit of food right now. Food and water. Because in my personal opinion, water is the next gold. So, for the past couple of days, I've been talking to you guys ever since last week about the whole Capitol riot, the whole Antifa thing. And now, first of all, the FBI is coming out with a report, and it says that it had a report that warned of war at Capitol, which contradicts claims that there was no indication of looming violence. So, either way you want it. If there was a report and you acted like there wasn't, you lied. If there wasn't a report and you now you're telling us that there was, either way it doesn't look good, which means adds to the fact what I was telling you guys about the FBI's credibility. And speaking of the credibility, I got to thinking before I read this article, also, by the way, they came out yesterday. I told you guys the FBI is warning about uprisings in all 50 states, at the capitals of all 50 states. So you could tell us this far in advance of all of these riots, but yet we're supposed to take your believe in you that you had no idea that the Capitol riots were going to happen on the 6th. And you did, and if you did know about them, which this report claims, you did absolutely dick all to stop them. That makes you implicit. So like I've said all along, do not trust the FBI's word. Okay? They're in on it with the deep state. They would love to get rid of Trump. They would love to get rid of patriots and militias. And this is their chance with these supposed Capitol protests all in every 50 states. This is a chance for them to really make the patriot and militia movement look really, really bad. So I'd say stay away from it, because it could be another trap, just like what the Capitol was. A couple of Antifa people show up, they bust the door down, the crowd gets all amped up, some true patriots go in there, and the true patriots paying the price now. But what about the people that tore up them cities earlier in the year, or early last year, when they were rioting in all these cities? What about those people? We don't hear none of them paying any price. Just because it was the Capitol, they're saying, don't forget, the Capitol is ours. You people work for us. Supposedly. So, if I was you guys, if you heard anything about these rallies and protests, I'd recommend don't go there. Don't go there. It could be a trap. We already know they collect data. We already know all about that. And also, I did one thing I want to read to you guys about what's going on. Just another reason to go out today if you can. If not today, try to go out tomorrow or as soon as you can before the weekend gets here. And I'm sure you guys might have even gotten word somehow the same way I got this message. And this is like the third time I heard about it. So now I'm just going to go ahead and read it to you guys. Just bear with me because it's kind of long and it has to do with stuff going on this weekend. So first it told me about a data drop from WikiLeaks, supposedly dropping all the Hillary emails, all kinds of stuff, everything they got. And there's links to go and get those files. I'm sure if you go to wikileaks.org, you'll be able to go there and get all that stuff yourself. So it says, it's happening. Military takedowns, arrests begin this weekend and will continue forward for the next 13 days and nights. Some international raids have already started. Italy has also been found complicit in our election fraud. Everyone will be getting emergency SOS alerts on their phones, TVs, radios, and internet. It will override all other broadcasts and could last for several hours at a time. Do not be scared of what's coming, as it is for the safety of our nation for this to unfold. Do not travel to any large cities, especially Philadelphia, for the rest of the month. Military operations will be taking place in many of the major corrupt cities. People will start rioting once this intel breaks, thinking that Trump is a military dictator. He only has 13 days to put this dog down. The implementation of the Insurrection Act began after the raid on the Capitol and was marked by Trump's broadcast to the people to disband and return home. This broadcast wound up being blocked for most part by the media. Nevertheless, his address fulfilled the requirements to initiate the act. Marines and National Guard troops are being moved as needed for the riots that will start after the national release of the intel. The intel will be dropped for everyone to see and hear in loops that will be several hours long. The system was just checked by the FCC a few days ago, alerting all media that they cannot block the flow of intel under federal regulations. Trump will be moved continuously like a chess piece from now until the 20th. In order to avoid any retaliation against him and his family, Trump had to exhaust all other means legally before this operation could commence. He gave everyone a fair chance to come clean, and they refused his press release of a smooth transition and did not include the word concede, as he has no plans to do so. Rather, there will be no smooth transition of power to his new cabinet, staff, and Vice President General Flynn. So, he gave everybody a chance to come clean. They're saying, supposedly, okay, now first of all, let me just say, This could be complete fiction for all I know. I have not vetted any of this. I have no way of vetting any of this. Yeah, but I've had this message come to me from several different avenues now. So I figured I'd just share it with you. And a lot of you guys probably already got it anyway. But for those of you who didn't, there it is. Now let me just say, it says that he gave everybody a chance to come clean. And today, the FBI and the DOJ had a press conference talking about the DC riots and asking anybody who was involved to come on clean now because they're investigating you. So maybe they're investigating somebody that is more important and they're telling them right there, like what this says, to come clean. Or maybe they just can't find that guy that was walking around with the rebel flag and they want him to come clean because they got no clue. Like I said, you cannot trust the FBI. And so, anyway, guys, if I was you, I'd go out this weekend at a very minimum. Like I said, get the stuff that's going to be inflating: your oils, your cereals, your grains. Go ahead and grab some stuff so you can get through this weekend, just in case this message that I just read for you guys is true. Like I said, I have no idea of knowing that it could be complete fiction. Somebody could have just completely made it up. I have no way of vetting it, but I have received it now from several different people and in several different ways. So go out, get some stuff just for this weekend, just in case something does go down. What happened over there in Pakistan and Italy and at the Vatican, the power went down. And also, part of that message that I received from one of the other avenues stated that this weekend, supposedly, like I said, this could be complete fiction, the power will go down when this all goes off. So think about that as well. If the power was to go down, now in Italy and that, it only stayed down for what, maybe a day or something like that. But would you be able to make it if the power went off for a week? Would you be able to make it if the power went off for 2 weeks or a month? Think about that. That's what you need to prepare for, just in case. Do you really want to tell your family, well, I didn't think this would happen? So anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Let me get a thumbs up. Please subscribe. To all you guys who have subscribed and tune in regularly, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. You guys motivate me to keep coming out here every day and bringing the news. All right, guys, be safe. I'll check you out tomorrow.